Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about user story. In this video, we are going to use few mathematical formula in order to ensure or validate how a good user story has been written. What is user story? User story is an informal, natural language explanation of a software feature written from end user perspective. The main purpose of a user story is to articulate how a software feature will provide value to a customer. Few key benefits of writing user story are: starting with user story will always focus on a user. It may be either a book or a movie we watch. We always visualize things based upon a user. Similar like that, whatever user story that has been written, it has to convert into a user format like with set of action and value to it. Second thing, user story always enable collaboration. With the end goal defined, the team together need to ensure that how best it can be served to the customer or end user to meet the goal. Third point, user story always ensure it provides some creative solution. It encourages team to think critically as well as creatively, which ensure at end point a best solution has been arrived in a more creative fashion. Finally, the most important thing is user story always create momentum. With implementation of each user story, the development team always enjoy few win and few challenges. Day by day, when set of user stories are implemented, the development team can convert the small win into big success of the product. So, user stories always create momentum in our life. Now we are going to see 5 important things which should not be part of an user story or which should not be carried out in a user story. A faceless user story, a vague and complex user story. Instead of defining why, a user story should not define how. Always ensure that no technical piece of information is added in a user story. And finally, whenever as a user you read that user story, you should ensure that poor context is not present within user story. When we avoid these 5 things, then obviously we are going to write a best and a industry standard user story. Now let's see how few mathematical formula can be used in order to validate that good user story are written. Starting with user story format. Always have a formula called WH into 3. Who, what and why. As a user role, I want to perform some action so that certain value is attained. Okay. In this way, we always need to write an user story format. For example, let's take WhatsApp. If I want to block a number in WhatsApp, let me write a user story. As a WhatsApp user, I want to block a number in WhatsApp so that I will not receive any messages or call from the blocked number in WhatsApp. So this is an user story format for this example. Okay. Similar way, in our day-to-day life, whatever is having action or value as an user, you can write in the format of an user story. So when you start converting all in your imagination as an user story, then it would be much easier for you to write user story. Followed by that, we have acceptance criteria. What is acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria are the set of conditions that a software product must meet, and it has to be accepted by the user, customer or any other systems. I can say that acceptance criteria are always unique for each user story. Acceptance criteria are nothing but the future behavior from end user perspective. Let's see how we can use a formula to ensure that a right acceptance criteria is written. Always have in mind n into 3. Yes, n into 3. Given, when, then. Given a condition or pre-statement is defined. When some action is performed, then an outcome or end result is obtained. You can use and wherever necessary to add some certain note to that. Let's see with our example. Given as a WhatsApp user, when the user go to settings, privacy and select to block the number, then the user will not receive any messages or call from the blocked number, and the user can unblock the number at any point of time to start receiving messages or call from the unblocked number. So this is an example format for acceptance criteria. So as I already said, you can envision at any point of situation this 3N: given, then, when. So when you're writing an acceptance criteria, ensure that this condition is met. And finally, you can have some description to the user story with some wireframes or from snapshots and give it to development team. Now everyone will have in mind how we will validate whether right user story has been written. For that, there is a word which you can always keep in mind and ensure after writing a user story whether the conditions are matching with this word. The word is invest: independent, negotiable, valuable, estimate, small and testable. Any user story should be independent in nature. Any user story should be further drilled down and can be negotiated at any point of time before starting implementation. Any user story should provide value to the user or customer. Any user story should always be in a position to estimate into story points or hours. Any user story should be always small and compact in nature. Finally, testable. Any user story should be in a binary format. It means from testing perspective, it should either pass or fail. If these conditions are matched, then obviously you are going to write a industry standard user story. You can use this as a guide for ensuring that a right user story has been written. Finally, I want to conclude the video with user story format. As a YouTube user, I want user to subscribe to the Monk KKD so that you receive updated videos every week. Thank you everyone for watching this video.